Right. Good afternoon, everyone. What an amazing day we have had so far. And welcome everybody, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters across the district, to the District 77 2021 Humorous and International Speech Contest. Have really been looking forward to this day, and it's finally here. You know, speech contests are really an important part of the Toastmasters educational program. And speech contests provide an amazing opportunity for speakers to gain contest experience, which they're doing today, and to recognize the best speakers as an encouragement to everybody. Contests also provide an opportunity to learn by observing the more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training. And let me tell you, we've got a great slate of speakers today. But I gotta say a little small fine print here. By attending this remote virtual contest, you agree to the privacy policy of Toastmasters International, as well as the unassociated remote hosting service. Some of your personal information, such as name, image, and any shared messages, may be shared with other participants and will be recorded by Toastmasters International, who may use the recording in the future as it sees fit. Your remote attendance hereby discharges Toastmasters International from all claims, demands, rights, promises, damages, liabilities arising out of or in connection with the use or distribution of said video recordings, including but not limited to any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. Did everybody get that? Good. We can keep going. We are incredibly, and I mean incredibly, fortunate this afternoon to have as our humorous contest master, Ms. LaWan Jones. LaWan Jones, she is a wife, a mother of three, ages 26, 23, and 17. And LaWan is a 28-year banking veteran who currently works at BBVA. LaWan has been a member of Toastmasters for 7 years. She currently serves as president of the Summit Speakers Club and is co-sponsor of the Women in Leadership BBVA Toastmasters Club. She is a past area director. She's also past president and sponsor of Regions Evergreen Toastmasters Club, my home club. And she was also the 2017 Division B Toastmasters International Speech winner. LaWan currently launched a YouTube channel on dessert tutorials to promote her baking company, Legacy Desserts. Boy, if that isn't sweet, I don't know what is. So I now turn this humorous contest over to the humorous contest master, Miss LaWan Jones. Madam Contest Master.
Thank you so much, Charles. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and a special hello to our esteemed contestants. I'm so happy to be here today. I thank you, Charles, for asking me to be the contest master. I thought it would be appropriate, since this is a humorous contest, for me to start off, break the ice with a joke. Well, once this guy went to the woods to fish. While he was fishing, off in the distance, he looked and saw a black bear barreling at him. He could tell it was going to tear him apart. Fear gripped him. He didn't know what to do. He fell to his knees and prayed. The first thing that came to his mind, he said, "Lord, please make this bear a Christian." As the bear came upon him and was about to pounce, suddenly, miraculously, the bear started to talk. It stood back, put his hands together and said, "Lord, I thank you for this food I'm about to receive." Oh, thanks for laughing, even if you didn't like it. We will now, with any further ado, we'll go ahead and begin our humorous speech contest. I will read our prepared opening. These proceedings are designed to ensure that we run a fair contest, that each contestant is given a level playing field on which to compete. The following announcement is made in the interest of having a distraction-free environment for our contestants. Please mute your audio during each speech. Also avoid any unnecessary visual distractions by turning your video off. The chat feature is available if needed and will be monitored by one of the Zoom session hosts. Now, the humorous speech contest will consist of a series of timed 5 to 7 minute speeches that will be judged by a panel of judges. The contestants and the judges have certified their eligibility. The contest chair and the chief judge have confirmed the eligibility of the contestants and the judges. All the contestants have been briefed. All the contestants are present, and we are ready to proceed with the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chief judge for today's contest, distinguished Toastmaster Judith Kidd.
Thank you, Madam Contest Master. I would like to affirm that everyone has been certified, everyone has been briefed, and we are ready to start the contest. Let the contest begin.
Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. In order to allow the judges time to mark their judging forms, we will have 1 minute of silence after each contestant's speech, and we will have silence after the last contestant's speech until all the ballots are collected. Timekeepers, will one of you signal me when 1 minute has elapsed between contestant speeches? Please answer.
Yes.
Okay, and I can see your screen. The speaking order for the contest was determined earlier by having our contestants draw for a position. The order for the contest will be as follows. Craig Noyes, Things I Learned in My 40. Well, I'm sorry, Craig Noyes. I will not read the title at this time. Speaker number 2, Alan Prescott. Speaker number 3, Todd Childers. Speaker number 4, Robin Clough. And speaker number 5, Dana Lackey. Each contestant will be introduced only by his or her name and the title of the speech. I will then repeat the title of the speech and the contestant's name. All contestants may remain in the room during the contest. Are there any questions? You can either put a question in the chat box, or raise your hand. Okay, I see no questions at this time, so I will begin the humorous speech contest. Speaker number 1. Craig Noyes, Things I Learned in My 40s. Things I Learned in My 40s, Craig Noyes.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. As you all know, my name is Craig Noyes. I'm hip deep in my 40s. As a matter of fact, on this very day is my 45th birthday. So you can tell that I am in up to here. And I want to share with you some things that I've learned since turning 40. When you turn 40, you'll hear this phrase, and I hope you hear it for the rest of your life. You will hear, "You look good for 40. You look good for 52. You look good for 61. That's not something you hear when you're young. No one ever really says to you, you look good for 19. And so if somebody says you look good for 19 and you think it's a compliment, well, I've got news for you. If someone says you look good for 19, guess what? You look like crap for 19. You should not be hearing that at 19. And now that I've hit 40, I've accepted it. I embrace it. And I kind of know that, it's over. It's over. There's no more medium t-shirts for this guy. Those days are long gone. Now, when Friday rolls around and a buddy calls me up and says, "Hey man, are we getting drunk tonight?" You can. I'm not. And he says back to me, "Well, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. There's a 2-hour dateline on tonight. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to solve a murder mystery with Lester Holt. That's what my Friday night's looking like." Now, I don't want to come off as grim or negative about this, but since I've turned 40, I kind of accept death a little more. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you want to do exciting things. You want to go backpack across Europe. You want to go skydiving. You want to take up surfing. You want to experience life. And now, since I turned 40, I just kind of like say, like, you know what? All right, anytime now. Honestly, this is enough. It's just that I'm tired all the time. I'm just exhausted. I just daydream about lying under things and taking out, like my desk right there. I could crawl right underneath, right under there, taking out. I'll be perfectly comfortable. And although here's what I really mean: if I go to a gas station and I go to the pump, I swipe my card, and there's a little sign that comes in that says, "See attendant inside." Look, I would rather die than go inside and see that attendant. I'd rather get back in my car, drive 3 miles to another gas station, than walk 10 yards and go into your piece of crap place of business because you can't fix the pumps. I'll take death, thank you very much. And I think it really took me about 40 years to understand where I am politically. Some people know where they are kind of right out of the gates. Some people are influenced by their parents or friends. Me, it took about 40 years. So when people ask me these bigger discussion questions like, what's your opinion on the death penalty? How do you feel about the presence of American troops in the Middle East? What's your stance on abortion? My answer to all these questions and more can be summed up in 3 little words. I don't care. None of these things apply to my daily life. I don't know anybody on death row. The Middle East has been fighting each other for thousands of years. We're not going to change that. And thank God I don't have kids that are old enough to go fight over in that mess. And the consequences of your own sexual activities are your own damn problem. I just don't care. Look, here are the pressing issues in my life. My back is going. My vision is going. My wife thinks I don't give her enough back massages. I've been putting off getting my car for an oil change for the past 2 months. Is my engine going to blow up today? I don't know. Let's just roll the dice and find out. These are the issues that keep me up at night. And it's a whole new game when you turn 40, guys. This is really when your whole body just turns against you. At 39, you can be perfectly happy. The day you turn 40, it's like your transmission drops out. And I don't even have to get drunk anymore to wake up hungover. I just have to sit up and I'm just like, man, that was rough. Do you know the worst part of it? You know what the worst part of it is? It's that realization. It's that kind of existential crisis we all feel when we take a look at our lives. And, whether you think things are in a good place or a bad place, you kind of have that feeling that gnaws at you, that somehow if you had done things a little bit differently, things could be better. You could have made different choices. Things could have, gone off in a different direction. You never really know. And only if you had listened to the older people in your life who tried to offer you advice, but you passed it up because you're going to do what you're going to do anyway. I mean, let's be honest. But that in itself presents its own opportunity. You can take this as a chance to pass on your own experience to the younger generation. But you see, here's the kicker. They're not going to listen to you either. Madam Contest Chair, thank you very much.
1 minute of silence, please. I see the green board from our timer. That is correct. It is 1 minute. Thank you. Before introducing our next contestant, I would like to remind the contestants, please let us know if you cannot see the timer. And it is best if you pin the timer on your screen. Thank you. Speaker number 2, Alan Prescott, Small Talk, the Introvert's Worst Nightmare. Small Talk, the Introvert's Worst Nightmare. Alan Prescott.
I am an introvert. All that means is I become overwhelmed and overstimulated whenever I'm around lots of people, or there are lots of activities going on around me. For example, here are some activities that might overwhelm and overstimulate me. Crowded parties, rock concerts, meetings without agendas. Since my introvert brain is trying to process all of this external stimulus at the same time, it can quickly become overloaded and feel like it's going to explode. Poof. Then bad things happen. I lose control of my facial muscles. I start to drool. My legs become wobbly. I get lightheaded, and then I might even pass out. I rarely pass out. But if I'm being quiet and not saying anything, all that means is I'm in my own world thinking, processing information, categorizing, plotting, planning, scheming. You have nothing to fear. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, fellow introverts, I like to have discussions about topics I'm interested in. Topics such as software engineering, playing the piano, what to do during meetings without agendas. Like all introverts, I do not like small talk, which to me is useless noise, banter. Small talk is my kryptonite. I avoid it like the plague. Although sometimes small talk is necessary, I like to get it over with as quickly as possible by using the find yourself good technique. Has anyone used that technique before? Find yourself good? Let me demonstrate. A friend of mine, Debbie, is approaching. Now I have to time this out. Wait for it, wait for it, go. Hi, Debbie, how are you doing? Find yourself good. Let me slow that down a little bit. Hi, Debbie, how are you doing? Find yourself good. That's my kind of small talk. The find yourself good technique. Unfortunately, there are some people who love small talk, who thrive on small talk, whose ultimate goal in life is to trap poor innocent introverts and talking till they beg for mercy. There's such a person like that where I work. Let's just call her Kathy. One day, I made the innocent mistake of saying to her, hi, Kathy, how are you doing? Now, I started to move away because she was supposed to say, find yourself, and I would say, good. Hello, remember the find yourself good technique? Well, to my complete surprise, in utter bewilderment, she actually started telling me how she's doing. What? She began by talking about the weather. It sure is hot out there. I like hot. I think it's hotter today than it was yesterday. She talked about cars and traffic. There sure are a lot of cars out there. I like red cars better than green cars. She talked about her hangnail. She showed me her hangnail. She demonstrated how she's been trying to trim her hangnail. She talked about her 17 cats. Their names are Fluffy, Skittles, M&M, Fuzzball. I can't remember the rest. And she told me that she loves to attend meetings without agendas because they're basically unlimited small talk. At this point, I started moving away from her. She followed me. She trapped me in the corner. I tried to look interested. I looked at my watch. I looked around the room. As I made eye contact with fellow coworkers, I mouthed the words, help me, please. And do you want to know what they do? They avert their eyes and pretend not to see me. Those cowards. And then it happened. My brain started to get ready to explode. I lost control of my facial muscles. I started to drool. My legs become wobbly. I got lightheaded. And then what seemed like hours and hours later, Kathy says, Look, Alan, there's Debbie. I need to go talk to her. I've been saved. Freedom at last. I stopped feeling faint. I regained control of my facial muscles. I wipe away my drool. But I'm concerned about Debbie because she's an introvert too. I watched Debbie on the other side of the room. She's starting to lose control of her facial muscles. Her knees are starting to wobble. She looks at me and makes eye contact with me. And she mouths the words, Alan, please, Alan, help me. Now, let me tell you about Debbie. She's a friend of mine. She's a coworker. Well, heck, she's a fellow introvert. And do you want to know what I do? I avert my eyes and pretend not to see her. I wish I could help, but I've got to save myself. I have a family. I have children. My encounter with Kathy taught me that as an introvert, I need to always have an escape plan from annoying small talk. There are many polite ways to exit a conversation without hurting anybody's feelings. Here's some techniques I may have used. Kathy used an excellent technique. She found someone else she wanted to talk to. Poor Debbie. If I had used that technique, it may have gone this way. You know, Kathy, there's Debbie over there. I've been meaning to talk to her, so we'll catch up later, okay? What? No. I'm not trying to find someone else to talk to. I like it when you talk about the traffic and the weather. Or I could have changed the topic to something I'm interested in. It may have gone like this. You know, Debbie, that reminds me of this piece I'm playing on the piano by Beethoven. It goes like this. What? No. I'm not trying to change the topic of discussion. I like it when you talk about your hangnail and your cats. What were their names again? Or I could have tried the I'm running out of time technique. Always a winner. It may have gone like this. You know, Kathy, I got to get back to my desk and finish this project, so we'll catch up later, all right? What? No, I'm not trying to pretend I don't have time to talk to you. Please tell me more about why you like meetings without agendas. If you're an introvert, you too can survive a world plagued with small talk. All you have to do is try some of these techniques I just demonstrated. But if that small talk connoisseur is approaching and everything you've tried has already failed, you can always, as a last resort, run away. Madam Contest Chair.
1 minute of silence, please. Our third contestant will be Todd Childers. Todd, are you present in the room and are you able to see the time and hear me?
Yes, I am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
We will continue. Todd Childers, my handy rubber band. My handy rubber band, Todd Childers.
It's a popular notion that the early humans would find a date by seeking out a partner, bopping them over the head, and dragging them to the movies. Well, times have changed and things have progressed. In fact, in second grade, I would do something like this. Some people have a security blanket. Some people have a special toy. Do you know what I have? Madam Contest Chair, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, guest, honored guest, future Toastmasters, and those of you watching on YouTube, I have a handy rubber band, and I want to share with you some of the adventures that we've had. It all started when I was little, and we went to an Asian restaurant. Everybody was eating with chopsticks, but my coordination wasn't right, so it was more like flop sticks. Well, they brought out a handy rubber band, tied it around the end, and then all of a sudden, clamp sticks. Then in middle school, I got braces. My handy rubber band brought over some friends. There were red ones and yellow ones and blue ones and the dreaded green ones. Every morning I would get up and I'd wrestle and I'd try and get it in, and ow! Sometimes I just couldn't catch a break. In middle school, we learned reading, writing, and arithmetic. But do you know what the greatest lesson I learned in middle school was? That if I held my mouth like this and moved my tongue like this, a new dating ritual. In high school, we had a paper airplane contest in physics. While many students were trying to fold a special wing and make it right, I had a propeller. And so using my handy rubber band, I would wrap that propeller nice and tight, and one more time for good luck, and I had the fastest nosedive in the class. Fast forward to when I began working, and I injured my hand, and I had the therapist had this device to help me do exercises, but I really couldn't afford to have the device for home. Well, my handy rubber band banded together with some friends, and we were able to do it. I did the device at home, and then even when I was driving. And then as I'm driving, somebody would cut me off, and my handy rubber band became an anti-finger gesticulation device. Fast forward to last year. The pandemic was really getting me down. I felt like if I could just move a little bit, that I'd feel better. My handy rubber band had a cousin named Tiny. And with Tiny, I could do things like this, and this, and even this. Tiny had another friend that I could slip over my legs called a booty band. And if I moved like this, whoa, that was a real kick. I also learned that with this booty band, if I turn my leg like this and I shake, poof, oh, not you, not you. I'm working on my aim for that dating ritual. Well, this morning I got up to give this speech and my shirt was a little tight. It must have shrunk in the wash. Well, what was I gonna do? Giving this speech shirtless just was not gonna be funny. Well, my handy rubber band came to my rescue. I've learned a lot with my handy rubber band, but the main thing that I've learned is how much you can do when you're just willing to stretch yourself. Thank you, Madam Contest Chair.
1 minute of silence, please. Our next speaker will be Robin Clough. Robin, are you present in the room and able to see the timer and hear myself? Robin Clough, are you present in the room and able to see the timer and hear myself? I cannot hear you. You may be on mute.
This is contest chair Charles McCauley. I had gotten a message earlier that Robin Clough was having issues getting in. I'm not sure what the protocol is from this point.
I will defer to our Chief Judge, Judith Kidd. Would it be all right with you for us to go to our next speaker and change the order since he is not here? Either the Chief Judge or contest chair can advise us on the protocol in this instance.
Okay, this is contest chair.
Yes, I am answering you. I'm answering you, Charles.
Okay, thanks. Go ahead, Judith.
Okay.
Judith, did you want to answer that question?
Well, I was going to do it privately, but never mind.
Oh.
Per the rule book, if a contestant is not present in the room when the contest has started, they are disqualified.
Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. We will continue with our final speaker, Dana Lackey. Are you present in the room and able to see the timer and hear myself at this time? I will repeat.
Hi, I am here.
Oh, thank you, Dana. I can hear you at this time. We will proceed. Dana Lackey, what year is it anyway? What year is it anyway, Dana Lackey?
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, Madam Contest Master, I want y'all to think about where you were exactly a year ago today. That's probably a trick question, right? Because you were probably sitting exactly where you are right now, still participating in a meeting from home, or maybe not participating in a meeting from home, but just being at home because we were all in quarantine. Exactly a year ago today, we were sitting around waiting as our world had suddenly changed. The year 2020 began just like any normal year. We had concerts and sporting events, and everything was great. We were all feeling good, oblivious to what was about to happen, that we were about to end up in quarantine for a period of time. In this time, we gained some very interesting habits. We learned that there are some interesting shortcuts that you can take while you are on one of these meetings. For example, I look like I'm well dressed, don't I? Well, folks, looks can be deceiving. Because on my pants are pajama pants, nice little festive number, go Blazers. I'm sure some of y'all have participated in a meeting while you were wearing pajama bottoms too. That's just one way in 2020 we took opportunity and brought it out of challenge. Some other opportunities that came from challenge before too long into 2020, we figured out that wearing masks could get us out into the public. And of course, masks can look drab and surgical and all that. But once again, opportunity out of challenge, a new way to express ourselves. Let me show you some of my favorite masks. This is a good one right here. All nice and festive. Go Blazers. See? I actually managed to scare a coworker with this mask. However, he doesn't work there anymore, so I continue to wear it now. We also have the masks maybe of your favorite band. I don't like this particular style of mask. It's one of those that goes around the head, but it's useful for that. And of course, it has my favorite band, so I like that. And of course, the holiday festive, a nice little Santa Claus mask that I used last year. Well, folks, opportunity out of adversity became my theme for the year 2020, and that's how I made 2020 my year. However, now that we're in 2021, you would kind of be a little bit confused since we're all still doing this thing from home remotely instead of in person, that the year hadn't changed at all. So it really doesn't matter what year it is. You'll always be able to pull opportunity out of adversity. Another way opportunity got pulled out of adversity last year is, as we learned more and more about the virus, we learned that it's susceptible to sunlight. And so gradually, outdoor concerts and events started to come back. For example, some at Avondale were really well attended by yours truly. And even at one of them, toward the end of the year, I was wearing my mask for the most part, and I was having some beer, some beverages, and over time throughout the meeting, throughout the concert, I was wearing my mask a little bit less. And something happened which completely surprised me. A girl kissed me on the lips. And as I was relaying this to a friend, something I did not expect happened. She was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you thinking? You could have been invited to my little karaoke party next week, but no invite for you, mister." Well, I'd certainly learned at some point there is not opportunity that can always be brought out of adversity. And oddly enough, she would turn out to be right, because in 2021, I would indeed come down with COVID. Ironically, not from kissing anyone, but I digress. Another thing that I really like to do that came out of adversity was attending sporting events. UAB had a banner year last year. We got the conference championship, y'all. Actually, that's the 2018 hat, but I'll put it on anyway. Opportunity, once again, out of adversity. So now here we are in the year 2021, and as I mentioned, it kind of feels a lot the same. Yes, vaccines are accelerating. Variants are coming in to try to bring down that acceleration. So we've still all got to be careful. We've still all got to wear our masks and practice at least some degree of social distancing, and just keep rolling with the punches, because the real truth is it doesn't matter what year it is. Every year will bring its own set of challenges and opportunities. And part of making the year your year, like I did last year, is finding those opportunities in those challenges. So I will leave you with a quote from one of my favorite musicians, Bon Jovi, that became quite anthemic last year. When you can't do what you do what you can. Thank you. Madam Contest Master.
1 minute of 1 minute of silence. I see Robin Clough is in the room. I assume he will be giving his speech next. Will the contest chair please confirm that?
Yes, Madam Contest Master, based on the fact that there were some issues starting this contest late and looking at the times of when people had issues, we had not started the contest yet. So with that being said, we will permitting to proceed Robin Clough if he is in the room and can see and hear you, then we can proceed with him. Madam Contest Master, if you will proceed with that.
Thank you, contest chair. Robin, please confirm that you can see the timer and that you can hear me, and you will need to unmute. He gave a thumbs up. Robin Clough. Robin Williams. Robin Williams. Robin Clough.
This is what I need to hear, not that.
Y'all can hear me? Very good. Okay. Here we go. Good morning, Vietnam. Let me take you back in time. 34 years. It's the late 80s. I'm back home in northern Vermont. And one day, out of the blue, Robin Williams is performing at the local high school in the auditorium. I heard that he was making a movie and a snowstorm stopped production, and he all of a sudden had a couple of days off. But I also heard he had a tour bus he was on, and it broke down right there where we were at, and therefore gave us the time with it. Doesn't really matter which way that goes. This guy was awesome. My brother and I ended up working the venue, moving downstairs and upstairs with various items in preparation for the show. When I go downstairs, one of the trips of the many, my brother is beside himself. I'm like, what happened? He was here. Walked up to me, shook my hand, said hello, went on into the dressing room. I'm like, what? I missed it. You missed it. Crap. In any event, I did get about 5 rows to 7 rows back from the front, center aisle. This auditorium held at least several hundred people, maybe upwards to 1,000. But it wasn't quite full, but there was a lot of people there. And there was a fair amount of kids there, my age, teenagers, not little kids. And he gave quite the adult show. It's been a long time. I can't remember exactly any of the little bits that he said, but I do remember this. It wasn't structured. He didn't have a bit that he was doing that he had done somewhere else. This was 100% off the cuff. Robin Williams thrown into the mix, standing on his own 2 feet. And it was awesome to see. During the performance, there was this microphone at the foot of the stage, and he started picking on that thing, thinking it was some kind of mouse, and stepping on it. Picked it up, and was moving it around, checking it out, talking it up, swinging it around. Portions of the show had him interacting with the audience. He even came down off the stage into the floor where the people were at and interacted with us and yucked and cut it up, get your name, and then he put on a little story. He had us all rolling. But I was a bit shocked about what he did next. He had acquired a still picture camera from one of the people in the audience and went up on stage with it and was doing his wild thing that he does, taking pictures of people. And then the last picture being arguably the best picture in a classic Robin Williams. Opened up the front of his pants, stuck the nose of the camera down there and went click, and then gave it back to the person. They came away with a hell of a memento there. Of course, it was pretty dark. I don't think they actually saw anything, but I mean, oh my God. He was in rare form, I gotta tell you. I loved his career. I watched it as he went along, and I went along. First came across him with Mork and Mindy.
You're going to be there in 17 minutes?
As a fellow Robin, I was extremely glad to be alive when he was alive and be along on this life journey together. I'm very sad and sorry that he's gone. But he made his impression and nobody will ever forget him. When I first saw the Vietnam movie and he did that line, I about fell out of the chair that I was sitting in. And he had a way with being able to perform that way very naturally, very outgoing. And it's been a bit of a role model for me to loosen up and cut up a bit more. I wish he would come back and see us. Maybe someday he will. In conclusion, I gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, love the man dearly. And from one Robin to another, glad you were here. Ladies and gentlemen.
May we please have silence until all the ballots have been collected. Judges, please proceed as you have been instructed by the Chief Judge.
Madam Contest Master, all the judges' votes have been recorded.
Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. Well, now we come to the fun part. Well, one of the fun parts of our contest. We will interview our contestants. Contestants, would you please all unmute and turn on your videos? And myself, as well as our contest chair, will alternate interviewing. I see your hand up, Charles. Would you want me to start or?
Please proceed, Madam Contest Master, with the plan original.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll interview our contestants in the order that they spoke tonight. And so we will begin with Craig Noyes. Craig, oh, hi there, I see you. Craig, what club are you representing today?
I am representing the White Sands Toastmasters Club 702 in Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Oh, beautiful part of Florida. How many years have you been in Toastmasters?
I've been in Toastmasters for 7 years, I think. I think I started in 2013.
Oh, okay, you're an old timer.
Yeah,
well, Craig, I noticed on your profile, you gave, I was intrigued by your favorite quote. It read, "The one thing you need the most will be found in the place you least want to look." Explain how that has related to you in your life.
That's sort of one of those things. It's really hard to explain to somebody when you've actually had that kind of realization. But it really comes down to the one thing that you need to really get your life together, whether it's something, it's not really like a physical thing. It's really more of a mindset or an attitude. It's those moments when you realize that you have to do something you don't want to do, but you have to do it in order to get the best possible results. And I can probably equate this to a few occasions in my life where I've just been stuck in a place where I feel like I'm working as hard as I can to make something work, whether it's, some pivotal point in my life, or if it's, something with my career or something like that, when you don't want to make the tough decision to, in my own personal sense, my decision to leave the military after 15 years of service. I tell this to a lot of people and they say, "Man, why couldn't you just hold out for another 5 years? You could have gotten that 20-year retirement and you would have been set and got that nice retirement check." And I say, "Yeah, that'd be great, but I knew I wasn't progressing. My career was stagnating. I wasn't going anywhere. And I had to kind of look deep inside myself and say, do I want to keep doing this, even though I'm not going to enjoy myself for the next 5 years? And I could do better things to make the tough choice to leave." So I would say that is the thing that I most needed to find in a place that I really didn't want to go, but I had to anyway.
Okay. Thank you, Craig, for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
Alan Prescott, good to see you, sir. What is your home club, Mr. Prescott?
My home club is the Nooners in Huntsville, Alabama.
All right, the Nooners in Huntsville, Alabama. And how long have you been in Toastmasters overall?
Probably since 1997.
Wow. Well, you look good for whatever age you are. Going back. No, that's great, Alan. Hey, glad that you've been involved with such a great organization for so long. I saw one of your interests that you indicated on your contestant's profile is memory techniques. And I'm just like, wow, that intrigues me. What are some of your best, what's your advice on if somebody wants to be better at memorizing things?
Well, let me think. I'm trying to remember. No, I'm joking. There are a lot of memorization techniques out there, and you have to practice them to become good at them. But it's a skill you can learn. But the main thing I learned about, if you want to memorize names or things, a list of groceries or whatever, there's different things to do to memorize it. You have to associate to your 5 senses, like your feelings, your sense of touch, hear, smell, taste, whatever you want to remember, if you can put all those senses in it, your brain doesn't know it's something you're just trying to remember. It thinks that it's something that actually happened. So I think it's just a fascinating topic.
Wow, yeah, that really is. And you put a different spin on it by using your senses. I think I've tried before using, if I had to remember a list of things, trying to take the first letters or the letters and making a word out of them or something like that. But awesome. That's very interesting. Madam Contest Master, I'll let you proceed with the next one.
Thank you. Todd Childers.
That's me.
There you are. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What club are you representing and how long have you been in Toastmasters?
I am representing Montgomery Toastmasters in Montgomery, Alabama, and I've been in Toastmasters for a little over 2 years.
Okay, great. Todd, you are the first person I have ever met who said they were married at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. How did that come about?
Well, when my wife and I were talking about getting married, we were trying to talk about a traditional wedding and different things. And as we were trying to combine the families and all that kind of stuff, it was just getting to be too much of a mess. And we said, why don't we just go off to Vegas and get married? And I found that you could take a helicopter ride down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and get married. And she would not let me get an Elvis impersonator to marry us. So we did that. We were able to bring one person. So we got married and then we came home and told the parents. So
that's a memory you'll never forget.
Yes, it is.
If she would be with you when you're rock bottom, she'll stay with you always.
Certainly.
Okay, well, thank you, Todd, for sharing with us. I'll turn it over to our contest chair.
Hey, our contest master today is she's pretty humorous, isn't she? She's got a few up her sleeve. I'm going to go to the next contestant in our original order, Robin Clough. Robin, what is your home club in Toastmasters?
The Anvil Toastmasters, Club 9990 in Biloxi area, Mississippi.
Awesome. Biloxi, Mississippi. And how long have you been in Toastmasters, Robin?
2014.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, when I first met Robin at our contestants briefing today, I had to get I wanted to make sure I got some name pronunciations right. And I was like, Robin, is it Clough or Clo? And he's like, neither, it's Clough. And so I was just totally off base on how to pronounce his name. But anyways, glad that you are here. Robin, how in the world did you get into the hobby of drag racing, and are you still involved in drag racing?
Oh, that's my father's fault. Within drag racing, there are multiple different classes, but as with anything, there's always a top class. The top class in drag racing does not burn gasoline, does not burn alcohol, but burns a variant of nitroglycerin called nitromethane, and is literally an explosive. That's what Dad raced back in the 60s when that class was first getting put together and becoming a nationwide thing. During growing up in a family gas station, he still had some of the parts from the engine sitting on a shelf in the back, and he had pictures of it up in the office. And yeah. And when I was but a wee baby, I was still in my mom. I did the quarter mile before I was even born. Dad popped the supercharger after bending a push rod. My mom freaked out and ran the entire length of the quarter mile and got down there before anybody in a car got down there. Also, during that time period, nitromethane has a very unique smell to it. It's rather caustic. It makes your eyes water. It's kind of like that military training where they put the tear gas in the room. Yeah, it'll do that to you. And that got into my mom's bloodstream. So I've actually got nitromethane running through my veins.
Wow. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I think that's one hobby I don't think I have ever even scratched the surface of. I'm kind of interested in that, but wow, that's crazy. Drag racing, awesome.
Jump into the deep end of the pool and go to a national event in your somewhat local area. For you, probably Atlanta.
There you go.
It's an experience you will not believe. You have to go. I can sit here and talk your ear off for an hour. Won't get it. You got to go.
That's right. I know what you mean. I did go to one NASCAR race in my lifetime, and it was a lot of fun. But I'm just not a race car fan. All right. Thank you so much, Robin. And back to you, Madam Contest Master.
Our next contestant was Dana Lackey. Hi, Dana. I haven't seen you in a while. I like the beard. Dana, you're on mute.
You're sorry about that. Let me do that again.
Is all right. Hi. Yeah, Dana's been in Toastmasters a while. Exactly. How long have you been a member of Toastmasters, and what club are you representing?
9 years. And it's kind of confusing to me which club I'm representing because my home club is UAB, but Iron City Toastmasters is the one in which I am both president and coach.
Oh, great. Great. I can tell you love Toastmasters.
I'm hoping the coach role will melt away as soon as we get 3 more members and I'll be just club president.
Was that a plug for membership?
I think that's how that works.
Well, Dana, I like on your profile, you mentioned that you are inspired by when you have a eureka moment. Can you explain that eureka moment and how it inspires you?
I would say the best example of the eureka moment is when you've been working on something all day, but then about 4:50 on Friday afternoon, you have that moment, well, 4:50, whatever afternoon, right before getting off, you have that moment, that flash of brilliance, like, oh, so this is how it's done. That happens a whole lot in my current job.
And where do you work currently again? Is it with the city?
Yeah, no, I work for the county. Yeah, I work as a civil engineer for Jefferson County in a department called Development Services. I also do a lot of stuff with roads and transportation because I used to be in roads and transportation. So I'm kind of in transition.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you, Dana. Thank you to all our contestants.
Thank you.
We've enjoyed hearing.
Or whatever happens, happens.
Okay, that's right. That is a good quote. That's life. Well, thank you to everyone for your speeches and for your time sharing with us. I believe now I will turn it over to our contest chair.
Thank you, Madam Contest Master. And I want to echo what you said in thanking all the contestants for participating today in this really fun event, the speech contest. And I want to say a big thank you to you, LaJuan, for taking on the Contest Master for the Humorous Contest for District 77 this year. You have been a treat to work with, and you did a fantastic job, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you, LaJuan.
Well, thank you. It was a learning experience. This is my first time doing this virtually, so I thank you.
Yeah. At this point today of the speech contest, we're at the midway point, and I believe I may want to hand it over to our conference. But now, now comes the moment we have all been waiting for. I would like to announce that there were no time disqualifications at all. So everybody made their time qualifications. At this point, we will move to the Humorous contest results, and I will mention third place first. In third place at the 2021 District 77 Humorous Speech Contest, third place goes to Dana Lackey. Congratulations, Dana, on participating and placing here in the Humorous Speech Contest. Excellent job. In second place at the 2021 District 77 Humorous Contest, second place goes to Mr. Alan Prescott. Good job, Alan. Very much enjoyed your speech. And now, first place for the 2021 District 77 Humorous Speech Contest goes to Mr. Todd Childers. First place humorous contest. Way to go, Todd. Awesome job. And awesome job by each of you 5 participants who presented today in the humorous contest.